Now you can start, Nathan.
Okay, we're good?
Yes.
Okay, I'm calling the meeting to order, this very special meeting, and welcome to everybody, and welcome especially to our guests. And we have with us one of the girls' grandfathers from South Carolina. So, Rick, a very special welcome to you. And a very special welcome to our Rose Fishkin Award recipients. And at that point, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Terry Hicks, who will introduce you. Terry?
And again, I want to extend my deepest congratulations to the award winners. Your achievements are extraordinary. And based on previous winners, we know that you will go far in whatever your plans are. You will be extraordinarily successful because you've already shown and laid a track for a very wonderful future. So good luck to all of you. We're really proud of you, and just keep up the wonderful work that you've already done with your young lives. So it's really, really impressive that what you've achieved so far. So give yourself a clap on the back and a little bit of applause. And I really mean that very sincerely. High school was a long time ago for me, but I still remember how hard it was to get those good grades. So good for you. I'm going to start by introducing Brienne Chavosny. Brienne, let's see if I can find Brienne on my screen. I'm on a laptop, so I'm sharing a 2-page screen. Brienne, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah, usually people just say Przwozny, but you
that's
pronounce
because
it,
I'm Polish.
Yeah.
Brienne. I know how to read Polish. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, hi, I'm Brianna Przwozny. I'm a senior at Freehold Township High School. In my school's International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, which is a 2-year program that offers like a global context to the typical high school curriculum and prepares students for higher education. I've been on my school's track and field team for 4 years. I'm in a variety of clubs, including Students Helping Honduras, which I coordinated a clothing drive fundraiser for earlier this year. I'm in National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and Math Honor Society. And I plan on studying biomedical engineering at Boston University in the fall.
Wow. Wow. Now, are we going to wait until the end to ask the girls questions?
Why don't we?
Okay. All right. Congratulations, Brienne. A brilliant career is awaiting you, I'm sure. And I don't need a crystal ball to say that. Next, we have Catherine Antonelli.
Hello.
Catherine.
Hi.
Hi.
So I wanted to start off by just expressing my gratitude for this award. It's kind of difficult to put it into words. It's difficult to understand this from my last name, which is Italian, but I'm also actually Polish. My mother is a Polish immigrant, and growing up in a single parent household, I always had like a passion for intellectual pursuits, but I often felt as though education, especially higher education, might be inaccessible to me. So this award is really important to me, and I just wanted to express my gratitude. So I'm in the Law and Public Service program at my high school, where we delve into American literature, American history, to a certain extent government and political philosophy. And through the interaction of these different subjects, I've discovered a passion for English and history and the ways that they interact with one another, because we often think, because material conditions and the way that material and economic conditions will necessarily influence the intellectual climate, and the intellectual climate can spur political discussion, the implementation of different policies. So I think that that's why I'm going to the University of Chicago in the fall, and I will be double majoring, hopefully, in English and history.
Wow. Boy, that's an incredible achievement. And you'll meet a lot of Polish people in Chicago.
Yeah.
And eat a lot of Polish food.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much, Catherine. Next, we have Alyssa Knapp. Alyssa,
Hi.
welcome.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Nath, and I'm truly honored to represent Marlborough High School as the recipient of the Rose Fishkin Academic Excellence Award. Over my time in Marlborough High School, I've been able to explore an array of my academic interests through not only the classes, but also the clubs. And it has led me to my passion of pursuing a career in business with a specialization in either consulting or social change entrepreneurship. And nowadays with business, I really want to be like the woman in business and kind of create that path for younger women to come. So this fall, I will be attending the Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. I'm truly thankful for all of the opportunities I've had through Marlborough High School and Freehold Regional as a whole. And I'm excited for the opportunities to come. And I really just wanted to again thank you and all of the women in the American Association of University Women for this honor and supporting education for young women like myself. In my school, I'm involved in JSA, which has to do with a lot of my political beliefs and expressing the importance of expressing your political opinions. DECA, which is the business club, and also I'm president and founder of the Friendship Circle Club at my high school, which helps special needs children and their interactions with others. I also really like to volunteer at Champions before and after school programs at Dugan Elementary School, where I hope to inspire young students to focus on their academic goals and their love for learning.
Wow. Again, congratulations to you, Alyssa, and I'm sure you will achieve all of your goals. No problem. Thank you very much. Next, we have Morgan Berger. Morgan, tell us about yourself. Morgan is from Howell.
Yeah,
High
hi,
School.
my name is Morgan Berger and I'm from Howell High School, like you said. I'm enrolled in the Scholar Center for Humanities, which focuses on English, philosophy, and other courses with a specialized education. In my free time, I enjoy staying active in my community. I'm the National Honor Society president, the Student Council treasurer, and the co-leader of a club called Relay for Life, which raises money for the American Cancer Society. I also play varsity tennis and lacrosse. Next year, I'll be attending the University of Miami with a presidential scholarship. I plan to major in biochemistry on the pre-med track with dreams of becoming a dermatologist and opening up my own practice one day. Thank you to the AAUW for this amazing opportunity and congratulations to my fellow recipients.
Morgan, I'm sure you will, again, be very successful at whatever you pursue. Thank you. Okay, now we have two other, have I lost count? Are we up to four? Somebody?
Yeah.
Yes?
Mhm.
Okay, then there are two young ladies were not able to attend this evening. Ashta Kapadia from Freehold High School. And let me tell you a little bit about Ashta. Ashta is graduating from Freehold High School. Her future plans include attending Johns Hopkins University in Maryland in the biomedical engineering program and a pre-med track. She recently finished the initial EMT certification course, and while at Johns Hopkins, hopes to continue working as an EMT. She also plans to go to medical school. And that's all I know about Ashta Kapadia. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. And Ashta, again, is from Freehold High School. The other student is Dion DiCarlo. And Dion DiCarlo is from Manalapan High School. Just 1 minute, here we are. Dion's message reads as follows. I'm extremely grateful for my high school experiences as they have molded my academic and personal interests and prepared me for my next 4 years in college. I've been a member of Junior State of America since my freshman year, where I've participated in political discourse with my peers and have helped organize meetings and fundraisers as a board member. I have also been a member of Free Thinkers Society, a philosophy club, for the past 4 years. In the beginning of my junior year, I collaborated with a few other students to establish a UNICEF chapter from Manalapan High School, where we fundraise for humanitarian aid. I'm also Vice President of the Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society, and I'm a member of Rho Kappa, the Social Studies Honor Society, the Spanish Honor Society, and the National Honor Society. My current academic plan is to attend law school. I've explored my interest in law over the past few summers as a student at JSA Summer School in Princeton University and as an intern for a real estate attorney. This fall, I will be attending Yale on a pre-law track and possibly concentrating in mathematics with a minor in political science, economics, or philosophy. So congratulations to Deanne DiCarlo, our recipient from Manalapan High School. And that's it. Those are our 6 wonderful shining stars.
Does anybody have any comments or questions to any of our recipients?
If you do, please unmute yourself.
I just have one quick comment, Brianna, for you. My granddaughter was a graduated as a BME from Penn State just last May. She got a job immediately, and a good job. So it should work out great for you. And she has a job she loves, so she's fine. She's, I don't know, I don't even want to think about this, but she's designing something having to do with big toes and feet. And that's all I can tell you. I don't know.
I have my hand raised. I don't know if we're being recognized by raise of hand or we just kind of shout out.
Well, why don't you raise your hand? It might be easier.
I did. My hand is raised.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Marilyn. Hi.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to extend congratulations to our really outstanding student leaders and scholars. I'm totally impressed with the bios that have been presented by Terry, who deserves kudos for being moving forward with this selection, which definitely must have been difficult. My comment is one, as a retired college professor, of saying that I am sad that we are losing this outstanding talent of these 6 women to colleges and universities outside the boundaries of New Jersey. It's sad for us as a state because obviously you are leaders and you have so much to offer, and we really need you to stay within New Jersey. So it's just a comment, not a question, unless you would like to respond in some way. But congratulations to our 6 wonderful scholar leaders. Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments or questions for our award winners? Liz.
Yeah, this is from Morgan. What is exactly a presidential scholarship?
So the presidential scholarship for UMiami is $22,000 a year. So they're giving me $88,000, and it was recognized for my grades, obviously academic integrity and extracurriculars and everything I've done in the school community. So I was pretty thankful to receive that scholarship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking when you said presidential, I was wondering if it came from the White House. That's why I asked.
Oh, no, they just call it that because it's after the dean at our school, but it's not actually from the White House.
Anybody else?
Ellen, would you like to go?
Sue.
Oh.
Chris. Sue, unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm just curious what the students, if they have any opinions about or thoughts about virtual learning. Obviously, they did well, but do they have any thoughts about it?
Okay, Morgan.
Even for students, I'm sure, I'm guessing the other girls can relate, even for students who are very accomplished and working hard in school and everything, it is hard to stay focused, I must admit. It doesn't really simulate the same experience that you get in a classroom. You lose the connection between your teachers and your professors, which is really important to develop, I believe. So obviously, I think a lot of people prefer in-person learning, and I know I was really thankful when we went back to in-person instruction, just because it feels more surreal and your education is just more in depth and it's more sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to comment on that?
Alyssa, did you want
Catherine, you had something?
Oh, I just felt like it really impedes the process of like having a discussion, because when you're having like a class discussion especially, it really depends on like social cues and how sometimes like if somebody says something you agree with, for example, you can sort of like interject and like add something on immediately. But I feel like because there's just this process of like muting and unmuting, it's difficult to kind of recreate that feeling of like you're actually like going back and forth. It just seems like you have to rehearse something before you actually make a point, which is sort of stressful for me personally, because I like to sort of like, I think you can kind of detect it from the way I'm communicating right now, but I kind of like to generate ideas sort of like while I'm conversing. So yeah.
Mhm.
Anybody else have any comments?
Brianna, would you like to talk about how you feel?
Yeah, so I am still virtual, unfortunately, because there's a wait list to get back into school in person, and it's like on a first come first serve basis. So I'm still virtual, which is really unfortunate, but I'm hoping to get back into school because I have a lot of classes like IB design technology, which is a lot of hands-on and like building and creating 3D printed stuff or laser cutting. So I'm not able to do any of that, which is really unfortunate, but I'm hoping to get back in the coming weeks and hopefully get back to doing normal.
Mhm.
Yeah, agreeing with everyone who has spoken so far. It's definitely been an adjustment. I think honestly, everything with this pandemic has been an adjustment, but I think this school, my teachers, and I think all teachers have been handling it really well and like being very, like they acknowledge that it's been hard on us, just as we have to acknowledge that it's been difficult for them to teach. I think certain classes definitely it affected more than others, like math courses are much harder to learn online than maybe an English class where either way you're on your computer and you're looking at articles, you're looking at essays online. At least this all happened in a wave of technology, in the time of technology where most of the students are used to having their computers and everything online as is. But I definitely think getting back to in-person learning has been beneficial. And I think even talking to friends, our level of understanding has already increased in like the past like month or two that we have actually been able to get back to school.
Terry.
Are you guys lonely? How's your social life? And I mean, high school, half the experience of high school was being with your friends, being around people your own age and just sort of bouncing off each other. And you weren't able to do that for what now, 15 months?
Mm-hmm.
Do you miss it? Or do you sneak around and without your mask on and go visit your friends anyway?
Definitely say that, especially in the beginning of when we were in quarantine last year, you kind of sit home, you're on your computer all day doing work. And then it's if you don't leave your house, you feel just like you're stuck in this routine of just like being trapped in your house, like alone. But I think definitely considering the recent vaccinations, like I know myself and many of my friends are now vaccinated. So it's giving us the opportunity of, even if we are home for the day, we can go out and like go for it now, also with the weather being nice, like go for a walk or just like meet for lunch and then go back to doing your homework. I think that's a big thing for kids who are virtual now too. You spend all your day doing schoolwork online and then you have homework to still do at home. So I think it's definitely nicer with the weather coming back out and like even going to school and like actually leaving your house and like interacting with people, even if they maybe like aren't all like your best friends, just seeing people generally, I think is something that we all appreciate a little bit more.
Anybody else have any comments? Okay, well, if there's no other comments, again, I want to congratulate all of the winners for your extraordinary achievements and wish you the very, very best of luck in the future.
Maisie, just one last thing. You all did get your big envelopes, yes? Yes, okay, good.
So we're all good?
Okay.
Okay. It's unfortunate that we couldn't meet in person. And Zoom is fine. It's okay. It's a lot better than nothing, but it's, let's face it, not wonderful. And I think we're all probably getting a little bit sick of it, but it's the way life is, so there's not much we can do about it. Excuse me. And Rick, it's because of Zoom that you were able to join us. Otherwise, you wouldn't be. So that's the some of the good things about Zoom. We're going to head into a business meeting. If you'd like to stay, you're welcome. If you'd like to leave, that's fine. You probably won't be that interested, to be perfectly honest, but it's up to you what you'd like to do.
Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for coming. I know you're busy. It's the end of the semester
Yeah.
and you probably are buried in work. So thank you so much for coming.
And really, the very, very best of luck. And we congratulate all of you. Okay, so I guess moving on. Actually, what we thought we might do, since this meeting is kind of geared toward awards and scholarships, is sort of go over our whole award scholarship program. A lot of you, I'm quite aware, know this, but for newer members, I don't know, maybe not. The one thing I do want to stress before we move on to some of our scholarships is that the Rose Fishkin Awards are not scholarships. They're awards, they're recognitions. Need has nothing whatsoever to do with it. I've said before, Bill Gates' daughter was a student in Freehold Township, and she came in #1 as the highest female graduate. She got the money. It doesn't really matter. It's just a recognition and an award. And in the past, that has sometimes been confusing. It's not a scholarship. However, we do have scholarships. So Terry, do you want to tell us the status, if you know anything, about the Lila Selkis Scholarship and Betty Hurlburt Scholarship? Okay. Whatever you know, or I don't know, you may not have much information.
I went back and looked up the scholarship, the Lila Selkis Scholarship, which is the one that goes to Brookdale Community College, is awarded in September.
Oh,
so okay. I do not have any information about the recipient for this year. However, and I think last year's recipient we were notified about, and I believe information about her was forwarded to the newsletter at that time. I'm looking back on my emails. I got a very nice email from the young lady because I expressed an interest to the person in charge of the scholarship that we would like to meet the recipient, and she wrote me a letter in return stating that she very much would like to meet the ladies who gave her this very much needed money. So it was an enthusiastic letter. She said she was extremely grateful for being honored, and I don't remember exactly what her pursuit was. I can't find the letter.
Wait a minute, Terry, is that the recipient from Brookdale?
The Brookdale, that's the.
Okay,
Lila
she was in nursing.
Okay.
She was in nursing.
Okay, you remember that?
Yeah,
Yes.
I do remember that. I forget her name, but I know she was in their nursing program, which is one tough program.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's a very tough program because it's a national exam, and you have to pass the exam. There's no wiggle room around.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then the other thing that we're dealing with, which is kind of sort of vague, is Betty Hurlburt, as you know, died and left some money with very specific requirements as to who was qualified for this scholarship. And it had to be a student who lived in Freehold Township, who went to the Freehold Regional High School District and was going to be in a STEM program. We were basically not at all involved in the selection of this student. That was being done by Freehold Regional administrator who is in charge of the scholarships. And we're basically just funneling through the money from from the Betty Hurlburt Scholarship. And that money was awarded, but they did not tell me, as far as I remember, they did not tell me who was getting it. Just that we should send the money. So we did.
Hey, Terry, if you can find out just who got it, just for interest, fine. If you can't, don't go nuts.
I can call. I can.
Or you could email, what's her name, Cheryl, see if you can get some information. If it becomes difficult, don't bother. Okay. And Kathy Cortez, Kathy, where are you? Oh, there you are, Kathy. You want to talk about the Returning Women's Scholarship and what the status is of that at the moment?
Yeah, I'll give a pretty complete description. I don't know how many people know about it. And it's the Lou Wallace and Joan O'Dood scholarships for returning women, that is, women who are going back to school. And they're pretty hefty scholarships, $2,000 a pop. And I think that gives us the right to be very stringent about our requirements, and we are. And so I'll just briefly outline those for you. Well, first I want to say welcome to the committee members who are here, Pat and Terry, and the other ones who are not here, Sue Craig, Susan Hughes, and Sheila Menendez. And let me tell you, we are lucky to have all of these on the committee because they really know their stuff. They're very dedicated, and it's been very helpful to me because I've been on this for 3 years. This is my third year or my fourth, I don't remember. But there was a lot I didn't know, and they helped a great deal. So, let me give you first about the criteria, something about the criteria, and then I'll talk a little bit about the process, and then I'll just mention what I think are the rewards for this program. So the criteria, you have to be a resident of 10 localities nearby. I can recite them for you if you like. Cold Snack, Englishtown, Farmingdale, Freehold Borough, Freehold Township, Howell, Manalapan, Marlboro, Monroe, and Morganville. And that cuts it down right there. I mean, we get applications and mostly inquiries from all over the world. And it's very interesting to me to read those, but they're just out at the get-go because they're not residents. And secondly, they have to be, of course, women. And I do get inquiries from men. So I don't know why that happens, but it does. We're on seven or eight national and international scholarship sites. So it may be that they're just not reading the requirements very carefully. And then the woman has to be 25 years of age or older. She has to be going for either a bachelor's degree with 60 credits or a master's degree with 6 credits. They have to have maintained a B average, and they have to be enrolled in an accredited program in an accredited school. So I think that's one reason why the applications that we do get are so good, because those are tight requirements. We ask them to complete an application, provide 2 letters of recommendation, and send a transcript. And that has to be received by July 31st, which gives them plenty of time. So I think the application is another reason why it's so hard to choose our winners, because the applications ask pretty demanding questions and they are usually unbelievably satisfied. They ask about their educational and career goals, their financial need, their employment and volunteer experience. And I think this is a hard question to answer. Just think about it. Why do they think they are a good candidate for the scholarship? They basically have to toot your own horn, and these, you know, it's not always easy to do that. One of the thrills I get from this, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit, is reading those applications, because you really see the people shine through. So let me tell you just a little bit about the process. It starts in January when we post on the website the updated and reviewed scholarship information sheet, which gives the criteria. And then we start getting inquiries, although that doesn't happen usually until about April, May. I go on the site, Freehold Area Scholarships at gmail.com, like every week in the first 2 months, and then every other day, and then every day starting about in May, June, July, because that's when the applications start coming in, and that's when I have to tell them, A, I received the following, but you still need to send the following. And so I want to keep in constant contact with them because this is probably a stressful experience. If you've ever applied for a scholarship, you know, and you want to be sure that the information has been received. So then after July 31st, we set a time to meet, and we meet and we discuss. And the discussions are very, very interesting, and everybody has their own point of view, and it's very valuable to listen to everybody's different points of view because people see things through the applications and the transcript that other people don't see. I mean, I've picked up a lot of knowledge from just hearing other people's comments. So then we finally make a decision, and I send notices to the people who did not win the scholarships, which is a heavy task. And then I send notices to the winners, which is a joyful task. And then we have our, I sort of clue them in on what's going to happen at the usually the September meeting, where they will be presented to the people at the meeting and they give some words. They speak for a while, and then they receive their $2,000 checks made out to the school. And then ostensibly it's over again until January. So that's basically the process. And as I said before, the rewards I think are for me very, very, very rewarding because I believe in education for women. It's very important. I don't think women get as much opportunity as they should to complete their education, to finish and to be what they want to be. So this fills a nice need for me, and I like helping out in that way. And for the branch, I think we've become known in the area as an organization that gives rewarding scholarships to women, and I think that's a fine thing to be known for. And I think it's also rewarding for all the members to see that their hard work, their really hard work at the book sale pays off. It gives women a chance to return and finish their education. So that's basically it. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I do. Kathy, is your committee open for anybody, any of our members who would be interested in joining this committee? Are you open for members?
Right now, we've got a pretty full roster, but I ask every January if anybody wants to rotate off, and so far nobody has. So I want to keep it fairly small. We're at 6 now, including me, because one of the things I didn't mention, it's hard to get people together for a meeting in August because that's when it has to happen. And people are going away on vacations or coming back or whatever. So it's a challenge to get a quorum out of 6 people. And I think more people, it might be even more challenging. So okay. I think we're probably good at the level we're at.
Anybody else have any comments or questions for Kathy? Okay, thanks, Kathy.
You're welcome.
And Marilyn, you're going to talk about Nick Whistle. First of all, tell everybody what Nick Whistle stands for. I don't remember.
Yeah, and I'm going to share her, Marilyn gave me a presentation, so I'm going to share that now. Okay. So
you're going to do what?
I'm going to share a PowerPoint presentation where it, so.
Before Marilyn talks about Nick Whistle?
She can talk while I present the, have it up on the screen.
Okay, all right.
So just give me a second. Just give me a second. All right, now let me just try to get both. Let me just go back. 1 second. All right.
Are we Skyping?
Dave, I'm on the call now.
We're not Skyping. You're going to take a shower.
Sorry, my daughter was trying to Skype me, doing something now. I'm getting it on, but it's taking up the whole screen. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. You see the presentation on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get it so that, okay. I don't know. It's just, so now you just have me again, right? So. Because it's not, oh, maybe that's, I don't have the right view.
We see it, Chevy.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yeah.
but what do you see? Oh, you see it,
National
but,
Conference for College Women Student Leaders.
okay, so you're seeing it, but the thing is you're seeing it now big?
It's big enough, so.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
yeah, it's fine, but we're not seeing Maryland.
that's what I'm afraid, that's what
I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, so that's why I was trying to do.
Yeah, maybe if Marilyn, I have it on speaker view, and maybe.
Yeah, I know, I had it on that too, and I don't know why that's happening.
Maybe because we see you, so maybe if she starts speaking, we'll see her.
All right, maybe let's try that. All right, Maryland, and then let me put you on speaker view, and then, all right, let's see, Maryland.
I'm here.
Okay, so.
But there are no slides. There are no slides.
Now the slides are gone, yeah.
It would be preferable to see the slides, please, as opposed to myself and my lovely flowers behind me.
Here it is.
Thank you. Here we go. Okay. So again, Nick Whistle is an annual event. It's been around for more than 30 years. And the student leaders are selected from respective colleges to attend this leadership conference. Essentially, because the students are already leaders, the training is to enhance and to move them forward. The program was founded over 30 years ago, and since that time, about more than 10,000 students have gone through the program. The last in-person conference was in 2019, pre-pandemic, and during that conference, there were 800 students attending, representing 48 of our 50 states, and more than 300 colleges and universities were represented, and thus the diversity. The next slide, which is going to talk about who are the students that particularly are selected or attend, you will notice the concentration is on the rising seniors and the rising juniors in the college because they have been identified already for their leadership roles that they have assumed and showing the potential for even greater leadership capability. The group is a very diverse group, and as you look at the next slide, you will see that the white, Caucasian, European American student outnumbers those other ethnic groups which are represented, and followed by the Black African American student and the Hispanic student, respectively. The students themselves come from various backgrounds and have different majors. And I thought this was very interesting that STEM, again, seems to be the very popular one from which the students are emerging with 32%, followed by psychology and sociology, the pre-professional communications, and lastly, the humanities. Nick Whistle itself, as I said, used to be, or pre-pandemic was virtual at the University of Maryland, and then had to cease and desist for the year of 2020. at which time we had selected Samantha Jo McClelland from Georgian Court University to be our branch recipient. Since AAUW National was not able to conduct the leadership conference, we have asked Samantha if she would like to represent us for 2021, and she said yes, and she will be our representative. As a point of information, you might recall that Maisie's granddaughter, actually a few years ago, was a state scholarship recipient to attend Nicholasville. Some of you might remember the name of Tony Gingerelli, who was one of our branch honorees to go to the training. And in 2019, Kara Kavanaugh from Georgian Court University was our recipient. And we were most impressed when she came to us to thank us officially, to share her experiences with us. And she gave a wonderful talk. We were so impressed with her articulation and her professionalism. The scholarships, which can be full scholarships or partial scholarships, are given by our own branch as well as other branches, by our state as well as other states, as well as national. And that's how they come up with approximately 800 or more young women attending the leadership conference. The conference stresses 5 core objectives. And the first one that they focus on in the training is leadership development. And because we're training these ladies to enter the world professionally following their college experience, we are training them to assume leadership roles. A second core that they focus upon in terms of learning objectives is their professional development. And then activism, which I find to be very interesting, and the focus on women's issues, which in our particular organization makes a great deal of sense. And the 5th core area is diversity, identity and diversity. So the curriculum that these ladies go through within these 2 or 2.5 days is emphasizing not only their professional growth, their personal growth and interaction, with the focus on their curricular focus on those 5 core areas. And essentially, you can see from the areas of study from which they come, from where they are in their academic career, that they are coming from very diverse backgrounds. And that's what AAUW is looking to do. The next slide actually says that it provides valuable opportunities for students from all backgrounds. And AAUW awards, as you can see, 100 full and partial scholarships. So obviously, in a non-pandemic, non-virtual arena, this would cost a lot of money. Where does the funding come from? It comes from us as members. It comes from some of us as special gifting, where we specify that we would like to give a donation. And we have major corporate sponsors who help to underwrite this wonderful leadership conference. The leadership conference brings in major keynote speakers, as well as nearby members and college professors to help deliver the curriculum. And I don't know what year exactly, but Chelsea Clinton was a keynote speaker. And one of her quotes was, "Investing in women and girls isn't just the right thing to do, but it is the smart thing to do." And I don't know if I have any other slides. I think that might be it. Personally, I think it's a wonderful program. I think the money is very well spent. And if Samantha Jo McClelland, our recipient this year, is anywhere near our former recipient, Kara Kavanaugh, we are in for a wonderful meeting in the fall when she is introduced to us and shares with us her experience in May, very shortly, a few days away. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Marilyn. Does anybody have any questions for Marilyn? Yeah, Kathy?
Did they ever go, I don't know how long the program's been in existence, but are there ever any follow-up studies to see how the women who have gone through the training are actually doing in their lives, whether the training has paid off?
I think that's a wonderful question. To my knowledge, no. I spent a lot of
That would be
time.
interesting.
I spent a lot of
That's
time on the.
fantastic curriculum.
I spent a lot of time on the web trying to find more information to share with you this evening. There really is nothing about the history. I venture to say that no, there has been no further research done as a follow-up, which is most unfortunate, and I think it's a great idea. I would say to our own officers, presidents, co-presidents, incoming presidents, co-presidents, this might be a wonderful project to at least track our Freehold branch recipients because they are the potential members of our organization, especially now that student membership is available. And I think that it behooves us to get involved with tracking them and following them however best we can. I think it's a great point, Kathy.
Kathy, the only thing I can answer to that is my granddaughter. Obviously, I know about Kelsey. Kelsey went on to William and Mary, where I think she had no clue what she was going to major in when she got there. She just liked Williamsburg, of course, who doesn't? But she became an anthropology major, and we're all thinking, oh, yeah, sure, right, yeah. But she graduated from there, and then she went on to Oxford to get her master's, and I can't tell you what it was in because I never was really clear on it. Now she's living in Washington, and she's pretty much an environmentalist. So she's working for a nonprofit called CREST, as in the toothpaste, but it's the Center for Responsible Travel. And she's been working for them, basically trying to set up ecotourism. She does a lot of work in South America and also in the United States. And she's really happy as a lark. So that all I can tell you about is Kathy, is not Kathy, Kelsey.
That's amazing, Maisie, that she turned that anthropology degree into a business occupation or profession, I should say, because I was an anthropology major.
Yeah, I know you were. Yeah.
And it was there was no place to go except for a PhD. There was nothing in between. I ended up teaching it and then into sociology, but I certainly never really used my anthropology. But it's a very broad field, and there's a lot of applications that are finally being recognized.
Yeah, when she was in Oxford to work on her master's thesis, she went to Indonesia, and that's where she got really interested in the ecotourism aspect of this whole anthropology thing. And then, of course, she continued with it when she got back home. So anyway, it worked out fine. Anything else?
Maisie, we have a visitor today, Barbara Nasberg, and she has shown an interest in joining the branch. So,
is Barbara on page 2?
Yeah. So,
hi, Barbara.
You want to tell us a little bit about?
Oh, hi, Barbara. Now I see you. You're on page 2.
Not much to tell. I just know the organization from attending the book sales every year. And I just thought it'd be nice to do something a little more than just buy books from you guys, because you all seem so wonderful every time I see you every year. That's it. That's the whole story.
Barbara, where do you live?
Freehold.
Freehold. Okay. All right. Well, welcome. It's nice to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for welcoming me.
Barbara, are you in the borough or the township?
I'm in the township.
Okay. Liz,
Yes.
you want to talk about especially the June program?
We are finally getting together in June. We're going to be at Battlegrounds or Battlefield? What is it called?
Battlefield State Park.
Is it field?
Yeah,
I think I know that.
Yeah, Battlefield State Park.
No. I don't know if it's Battleground or Battlefield.
Whatever. Everybody knows what you mean.
Oh, well, yeah. It's on Route 33.
Yeah, it's one of these places where we don't have to reserve. It's first come, first serve. Linda Zuckerman is going to be working with me on it, and we're going to try to form a committee. So sometime in June, we'll try to meet either in person or on Zoom, depending on the weather. Be nice to meet actually there. I scoped out the place and there is a bathroom right there. There's a gazebo right there. We're going to have it's going to be June 10th. Because of COVID, there's going to be not going to be like one of our typical things. The chapter is going to provide some kind of wraps. We're going to want everybody to bring their own beverage. We're going to have desserts, but they're going to be like pre-packaged. We're going to have chips, but like small bags. I guess if you don't feel comfortable with that, you can bring your own lunch. We're open to suggestions on how to keep it COVID-free type thing. We're going to have everyone bring their own chairs. We'll have they have picnic tables, but we're going to bring our little tables. If we get there early, we'll be under the gazebo. If not, we'll have little tents and little tables to do. We were thinking of bringing some, big badminton games, horseshoes, things like that. It should be fun. We do have a rain date. I believe it's the day after. I think we have 2 rain dates. Maisie, do you remember what I said? What the rain
No,
dates
I
were?
don't. I remember the first rain date is the day after. I don't remember what we said. We can figure it out later.
If this, anybody has any suggestions how we can do this, it'd be wonderful to see everybody again, especially in an outdoor setting, and to play some games, or not, and in September, I wanted to say that we're going to go back to Zoom in September to have our Nick Whistle and our Women's Scholarship, and we're just keeping it to Nick Whistle and Student Scholarship, so that Marilyn and Kathy should be happy. We're not adding anything else. That's going to be it for September. Okay, and we're looking into some venues. We're going to go back to the community center hopefully in October, if we can. Maisie's looking into that, and for the winter we might keep our evening meetings on Zoom. We don't know if the school's going to let us back. I'm going to have to ask Sue and Arlene to contact the school and see what's going on, whether they're going to let us back. We've looked into the church. It's $250 for the big room, $100 for one of the small rooms. I know Phyllis has looked into her temple, and we probably would just need rooms for the spring. And hopefully that we won't have to do interbranch next year. That's one of the other chapters who have not done it for the last 2 years. We'll do interbranch.
Oh, well, Liz, I hate to break the news to you, but they think we're doing it.
Well, then I'm going to tell them they haven't done it. So I'm going to put it right back into their lap. They missed, both of them missed. We were the last ones to do it. I don't think we should be responsible. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, well, Liz,
That's that.
you and Trudy can straighten that one out. Okay, Phyllis, the virtual trips. And I lost you, Phyllis. Oh, there you are. Unmute, Phyllis.
Second. Oh, okay. Hi. Okay, so next Thursday, May 20th, we have a discussion following a virtual trip that's going to be led by Eileen Bandavunti, and it's going to be about Native Americans, Trail of Tears, reservations, homesteading, and powwows. And Eileen has a lot of firsthand knowledge because she grew up in South Dakota and Colorado and attended powwows when she was a child, and has a lot of knowledge of this topic, so it should be very interesting. On June 17th, which is also a Thursday, Carol Cohen is going to have a discussion following a virtual trip to various national landmarks that she selected in Connecticut and Massachusetts, because we thought, now that things are looking a little better, people might want to be taking trips this summer. So she's going to be suggesting some really interesting places in Connecticut and Massachusetts, and doing something similar to what she did, I think it was back in November when she did a road trip of Pennsylvania. So that's, you'll be getting information about that the end of the month, and that should be really interesting. I don't have a virtual trip for July right now. If anyone would like to volunteer, please let me know, because I'm trying not to ask people to do a second virtual tours. But at this moment, I don't have anyone for July. In August, I'm not planning anything because we have the book sale. And for September, Vivian has been working on a real trip because she was doing this before the pandemic. So we're thinking of a trip, a walking tour of Ocean Grove in September. We did that several years ago, but many of you weren't involved at the time, so it will be new to many of you. Even if you've been there, it would be nice to go back. So we're planning an actual trip, in-person trip, walking tour of Ocean Grove, and lunch in an outdoor restaurant. And you'll be getting information about that in the future.
Okay, thanks, Phyllis. Yeah, so
I have a question. Phyllis, is there any way we could make it other days than Thursday? Was there a reason?
There's no reason other than the person who is leading the discussion chooses a Wednesday or Thursday. And we've had a lot of Wednesdays, but some people, for their own personal reasons, needed to do that Thursday instead of that Wednesday. We try to pick a week that isn't, a week in the middle of the month that isn't the same week as something else, so that we spread it out. But it's all dependent on the person who's the presenter. I leave it up to that person. Mm-hmm. Do you want to do Wednesday or Thursday? Because those are the 2 days that we've always done the trips. And I'm sorry, because some people, it's not convenient for them to do Wednesdays, and some people it's not convenient for them to do Thursdays. So by having both, it's kind of, giving both groups opportunities. Mm-hmm. Sorry if it's, not working out for everyone, but that's right. The way it's been working.
Mm-hmm. Maisie, as long as we're talking about trips, does anyone have information on the trip that's going to be to Lair State Park?
I got an email about it, and I didn't pay a lot of attention. I probably wouldn't be around.
I have it up on the state website. Okay. So all the information's on the state website.
Do you know when it is?
Yeah, September 11th.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I paid very little attention. I probably won't be here. So anyway, it sounds like a really cool trip. And for us, especially, Lair is real easy. We haven't got to go very far.
I think it's $40 a person.
Yes.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what is that? Does anyone know what that includes for the $40?
It has all the information of what it includes.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a contribution to the general fund as well.
Right.
Okay.
Lair has a train ride, and I mentioned that. So I imagine there is a small cost for that. So that probably includes that. I don't know if you've been to a Lair Park, but there is an old train.
Yes.
Yeah.
Around, I don't know how far it goes. We've taken our kids there many.
But it will include the lunch. Of course, you will get lunch.
And Chevy, you said the information is on the state website?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So anyway, there it is. We probably got emails about it, but like I said, mine's gone.
I actually created a registration form as well. So you can register.
And okay. All right.
Send the check but they don't want, there's no PayPal for that. It's just, you have to send the check in to Pat Baraska.
Okay. Trudy, upstate, right, Maze. Update on the book sale.
Well, we are having a book sale, thank goodness. And, this is one of my favorite nights, tonight and in September, when we present the scholarships, because we work so hard for the book sale. That's what it's all about, to be able to further women in their education. And not, besides the ones we've mentioned, we also donate $1,000 towards Tech Track. We've done that in the past. And we also contribute to a scholarship that Open Door gives to one of their participants, which is very interesting. Book sale, so mark your calendars. Book sale is going to be August 11th to the 14th. We anticipate the setup to be August 5th or 6th. That's, or I should say, moving days. That's when we will be moving from our storage units to the church. Now, Vivian and Liz have done a lot of moving of children's books already. So we have that one room where we usually have sports and entertainment. That room is pretty full of books already. Our storage unit is almost full. We have, like, this is the last week that we are collecting books. And the other thing that's going to be important is when we get a date from Brookdale, which will be the end of July, because we want to do it a little sooner than moving directly to the church, because we're going to empty out Brookdale. So we are going to have 1 or 2 days at the end of July where we are going to move everything out of Brookdale into a storage unit. So that we're going to need help, but we haven't decided on a date. All of this will be sent out to you in a separate email. So we look forward to seeing you. We will follow social distancing, whatever that is at the time. We've worked out the logistics, so it can be one way if we still need to do that at the time. It actually might work out better in the long run anyway. So we're ready to go. Ready to see all of you.
Terry, unmute.
When you say empty out Brookdale, does that mean we're not going to go back to Brookdale, or is Brookdale closed for good, or do you know what the status is?
We don't know, but of course, everything that's at Brookdale, we will need for the books, you know, for the book sale. And for the time being, we're going to empty it out just because we don't know what's going to happen again.
Right, right.
Anything else? Okay, and Marilyn, is there anything of interest from the state that we should know about? Marilyn, unmute.
Thank you. At the state level, the bylaws were passed, and they're now going to be starting to work on a policy book, having moved some of the statements from the bylaws, which will talk more about nitty-gritty stuff, into a policy book, which will always make it easier to locate and easier to make changes in, as opposed to amending bylaws, etc. And as you and Chevy have mentioned, they're looking forward to the event in the fall. And that's, the officers were elected, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay, does anybody have anything else you'd like to ask about, mention to Dr. Don Marilyn?
For the good of the order, I did, thanks to Sue Bucciolato, who posted it for me, the Monroe Township Cultural Arts Commission is having a virtual tour of the Barnes Foundation. So hopefully you will join us. It is free. There is no pre-registration required. You simply click on that link around 6:45 on Wednesday, the 19th, and you will have a wonderful, wonderful, knowledgeable docent take us through some of the rooms of the Barnes in Philadelphia. So that's next Wednesday, the 19th at 7 p.m. Free virtual tour. You may begin to click on around 6:45. Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Okay.
Is that the, what do we click on?
Is that the same museum that Arlene took us on? On
Yeah, yeah, Liz, it is, yeah.
Can you repeat the, where do we click on for the virtual? Monroe Township?
You should have received it was posted on our, Chevy, I don't know, is it on our branch website? It was an email that went out to everybody in the Google group.
Yeah, it's pretty recent email, like within the last several days, I think.
Okay, I'll check that.
Yeah, it went out to the entire group.
Yeah, yeah, so Sue, you should have it.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, this is not, if Liz's question is like, were you there already? No, this is a totally different virtual tour. It's nothing like what Arlene did. And for those of you who know the Barnes, it is a very special museum, which has a wonderful background, and the docent will talk about Dr. Barnes and his collection. And he is so specific in his, in how he wanted things. He even told how he wanted each of the paintings and artifacts set up in each of the rooms. And you will actually, by way of a 3D virtual tour, be going into different rooms and salons, and the docent will then talk about specific artists and paintings.
Sounds great.
Marcia, did you have something?
Just that I would like to remind people to let me know if they have anything they want for my good and welfare, or whatever we call it, whatever is going on that you'd like to share with the group, that good news and so forth. I would like to hear from people. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, if anybody on page 2, whom I can't see, if you have something you want to say,
Laurel
just
is raising
yell.
her hand.
Hi. Yes, I just wanted to remind people that the submissions for the newsletter are due on June 15th.
Okay.
And I'll be going away on June 19th to Maine, so it'll make it harder. I won't have access to the computer then, so please get your submissions in on time.
Okay. Okay, at that point, if nobody has anything else, I think we'll close the meeting. And everybody, thank you very much for attending. This meeting is kind of a special one, and we did get a good turnout, so that's nice. So hopefully you see everybody at the park in June. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Night.